Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is going to do One Piece episode 555 review. Triple fives for this week of One Piece. Now, before I get started, look down below for the preview of One Piece episode 556, the Facebook fan page, and the actual episode of One Piece 555 all down below. That being said, let's get started. Let's dive right in. Now, this episode of One Piece, people, two words. Skywalk. Skywalk, yes. People, this was hot. It really was very good. Well, no. It was overall a good episode of One Piece. Not great, it was good. And I'll explain why later on. But what I will say is that this episode, I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. I mean, like, when the highlight of the Skywalk and the Black Rope Dragon Twister. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. So, basically, this episode in of itself is fights. It's fights. We see Luffy kicks it off with the Gear 3rd. Sanji and Zoro follow up. And then we see Robin do some clutches. We see Usopp doing some green stars. We see Brook. Brook was good. I don't know why. It was kind of corny, but it was still kind of good. Yeah, it was weird. It's like it was cheesy, but it was good. Because we see Brook, and like Brook's dancing, and the other and like the fishermen themselves are dancing along with Brook. Like we see Brook going like, yeah, woo! And then the guys are like, woo! And then Brook is like fucking cut, and I was like, okay, like, that was hot. Brook is actually really fast. Like, I'm surprised. Brook is actually a really fast fucker. Like, he really is really fast. Like honest to God. Like, Brook has some serious speed on him. But with that being said, we see Brook do, we see Brook take out a few fishermen. We see Nami do some lightning. Frankie does some rockets. Now, apparently, Frankie has 2 new weapons for the Sunny Go. And Usopp, Chopper, and Nami are going to indulge themselves in these 2 new weapons that Frankie has. And that's going to be next week's episode. However, this week was highlighted on Zoro and Sanji. Zoro and Sanji got a majority of the hype in this episode. Now, we see here that Zoro, he starts off, right? And Zoro, he's being confronted with the Iron Shell squad. And we see a miniature flashback of Zoro. We see him training with the human drills. And then he pulls off the Black Rope Dragon Twister. And this was sick. Why was it sick? Because Zoro is sick. It's that simple. Now, the Black Rope Dragon Twister, in relation to the older Dragon Twister, is much stronger. It has the ability to stay there for a long period of time. Well, not a long period of time, but it can stay there for a certain extent of time. And it's emphasized that it has like a weird like blue aura around it. Yeah, it was like the Black Rope Dragon Twister had like a blue outline on the actual tornado itself, and that was very cool stuff. And the way Zoro did that, we see the hype on all 3 of the swords, and then we see him do the Black Rope Dragon Twister. Zoro, cut, yeah. That was hot. That was hot. So I'm just saying that was hot. And then comes Sanji. This was the best part of the episode, in my opinion. Alright? Sanji, this guy. The emphasis that they put on the Skywalk was very good. Why was it good? Because we see a correlation of the flashback alongside with the real-time Sanji. We see Sanji in the flashback being surrounded by newcomers. At the same time, we see Sanji being surrounded by, I believe it's called the Spiked Sea Urchin Squad. And then at the same time, we see all these mermen in the sky, and they're going at Shirahoshi from the sky. And then we see Sanji in both the flashback and present time running in the sky, and that was very good. It was very well organized. It was very precise and key. The emphasis and the hype on the Skywalk. And then we see Sanji running in the sky. He's like, Skywalk? And then we see like Luffy and Robin staring at Sanji like, oh shit, like that's really cool. That's the CP9 Genpo. And then we see Sanji, and this was really cool. This was really cool. Sanji is in front of Shirahoshi, and then these mermen are booing at Sanji because Sanji's trying to hit on Shirahoshi, and then Sanji does the Diablo Jumbo, and then he does a technique called, and then he does a skill called Polia Free Spectrum, I believe so. And this was really cool because if you remember, there was one other person who could do spectrum attacks, and that was Ivankov. Ivankov, when he did the spectrum attack, he made a lot of faces of himself. And in this case, Sanji makes a lot of legs. He makes like a few hundred legs, like leg images, and that's really cool. And then we see these legs, and they're like small little meteorites. They pummel each of the fishmen, like bam, 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 bam. Straight up, they pummel all these fishmen. And that was really, really cool. Another cool part of this episode was when Horty Jones gets, and this is before all the hype, when Horty Jones gets pissed off, he's like, wait a second, there's a giant princess in the middle of the plaza. How you guys gonna protect her? Does the water shot, and what happens? Jinbei, first son of the sea, counters that shit with his own water shot. He's like, Horty Jones, I know you got this power, but your karate is still lacking. I was like, oh shit, alright. Jinbei, first son of the sea, mad props. Just because that water shot we saw Horty Jones do was fucking powerful. That shit went through mad buildings. But Jinbei, no. I got that shit on lock. Me, alright, me. So, and then of course at the end of the episode we see Luffy, and Luffy is he's staring at Horty Jones. He does a few words, and then he charges at Horty Jones, and that right there is the end of the episode. So the reason why this episode is gonna get a good, not a great, is because even though the fighting itself was good, it wasn't fast-paced. It was slow fighting. Understand that. It was really slow fighting. It wasn't dynamic fighting. Like, one of the best parts that explains this is when we see Sanji first go in there, and Sanji starts kicking a lot of these fishmen. The kicking process in of itself was very slow. It was very slow. Like, it was slow motion, kick. Slow motion, kick, you know? But ultimately speaking, it was good fighting, but it was very slow. Just very slow at some parts. Some parts could have been sped up a lot, especially the flashbacks. The flashbacks, even though they were good in highlighting the characters' new techniques, the flashbacks in of themselves, they slow down the pacing of the episode. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword here, where it's good in the sense that, you know, it highlights the new techniques, but it's bad in the sense of it makes the pacing very slow. You feel me? Also, one more thing I want to talk about before I leave. The skywalk that Sanji did, it's the casual Genpo, alright? Because there are two versions of the Genpo. There is the casual Genpo, where we see them jumping and running with the Genpo, and then there is the Sonic Boom Genpo, where we see them disappear, and then they start creating sonic booms, you know, like boom, boom, boom. So I don't know if Sanji can do the Sonic Boom Genpo, I'm not too sure, but what I will say is that even if he can't, it doesn't matter, because these fishmen are scrubs. They're really scrubby fishmen. They're not like 100,000 elite Marines. They are 100,000 scrubby fishmen, not elite soldiers, scrubby fishmen. So that's why it wouldn't really matter if Sanji could do the Sonic Boom Genpo. So, I mean, that's all I'm going to say right now. But that being said, I'll see you guys later. Once again, look down below for the preview of 556, the fan page, and the actual episode of 555. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a nice day.